Looking to make a master vampire and you want to know what powers you should invest in? There are 5 vampire ranks and 5 powers to look at every rank. Yes, 25 total. We're going to go through all of them. Note that some powers conflict with weaknesses, meaning that if you choose them, then you can't take certain weaknesses and you'll have to choose others instead. Let's kick things off, starting with the first 5 powers available from the Fledgling level. The first one is Detect Personality. Be gone with Get to Know, now it's all about Detect Personality. Yes, you upgraded. This skill will let you learn all the traits of another sim at once. Quite handy to have. Bat Form. Your sim will gain the ability to travel as a bat, which will see them transform and fly away before reappearing at the spot of choice. It helps you get from A to B much quicker than choosing to walk, and you can also make this their default method of transportation so that they use it to go everywhere. Next up is Cast Hallucination, a very cheap and devious little power that will cause a sim to talk to themselves and be dazed for a little while. I suggest picking it up because it costs literally 1 point and we all want our vampire to have some sort of little, sneaky power. Well, I do anyway. Eternally Welcome. No more begging sims to open up so you can suck their blood. Eternally Welcome lets your vampire force their way into a sim's house and even fiddle with their locks. They can lock doors, they can unlock doors, and you know you're an especially evil vampire when you lock all the bathroom doors only and then leave. Next up is Occult Student. This one has 3 ranks, but they all serve the exact same purpose. It's a common theme with these powers. They lower the amount of vampiric energy your vampire abilities use. Having this will help you level up higher as you'll be able to gain more vampire experience from performing more interactions without having to recharge. It also generally means you can cause more drama when you're feeling devilish. I suggest getting all of these. They're the Fledgling level powers, and moving on to the 5 minor level powers. First up is Vampiric Charm. This one is perfect for the romantic. Taking this power enables your sim to activate a vampiric aura that lasts for 4 hours. It gives your sim a happy moodlet and boosts all of their romantic interactions by making other sims captivated by your hottie vampire. There are 3 ranks here as well for this power, with each rank making both the chance of romantic interactions working successfully and the happy moodlet stronger, from a +1 happy moodlet at rank 1 to a +3 at rank 3. Do note that it will conflict with the undead aura weakness, which gives a negative hit to your starting relationships. Next up is Vampiric Strength, and there are 3 ranks here. You can also think of this kind of like the fitness skill. You'll win fights or vampiric spars more often, and working out will be much easier, even if your fitness skill level is quite low. At the top rank, you can also crush metals into elements. Yes, you are that strong, which is handy if your vampire is a cute little collector who for some reason wants elements. Bit of a niche use for a vampire, but we're going to take it. Command. This is perfect for vampires who want others to do their bidding. You can make them be mean to others, you can make them repair objects, clean, and even sit. My favorite thing about making them sit is that they just sit on the floor as if they're kneeling to your almighty power. Great for a bit of roleplay, and who doesn't love roleplay? Next we have Garlic Immunity. Maybe your vampire is intrigued by the taste but worried about the side effects. Well, side effects no more. Eat that garlic, use it to brew that drink. The options are endless because you're immune to garlic's effects and you don't have to worry about it anymore. This one is handy if you're looking to create a drought of reconfiguration to reset all your skill points, because that does involve garlic. Next up is Vampire Creation. So if you're looking to make more of your own, Vampire Creation gives you the option to turn other sims into vampires themselves, so you can make that sweet, sweet army of underlings. Alas, they are all the minor powers. We're now moving on to the prime vampire powers. First up is Mesmerize, and this one is like a very similar but slightly stronger version of Hallucination. Stun sims, leave them dazed for a while, you look at them, you stare at them, they stand still, you move on. Next up we have Child of the Moon. Yes, we're still talking about vampires, not werewolves, but this is a really, really strong power and it has 3 ranks and activates between 6 to 7 AM. Every rank does more or less the same thing with increasing power. Firstly, you'll get a permanent happy moodlet during these times, from +1 at rank 1 to +3 at rank 3. Your sim will also gain skills faster, their needs will deplete slower, and they'll use less vampiric energy. Overall, it'll mean your vampire can absolutely slay come nighttime. Not like Sims, but more like slay at getting skills. Next up is Irresistible Slumber. This one is relatively straightforward. It's essentially a vampiric power that will put another sim to sleep on the spot. If you want to take over a community lot and put everyone to sleep, this is what you need to do it. Next up is Manipulate Life Spirit. Now, okay, this one is interesting. It's under feeding options, and you'll be able to drain a sim's life spirit. It works like feeding, but is stronger in that you'll also wipe their memory and relationships completely clean. Like literally goodbye all relationships. So, maybe if your sim regrets getting married and they want a fresh new beginning, it's the perfect thing for them. Now, I need to pound the alarm like Nicki Minaj here. Like really, really big warning. You can restore a sim's life spirit who's had it drained, and this will give them a confident moodlet for a few days. However, this will not restore their relationships. Will not restore their relationships. So make sure you keep that front of mind, because this can cause a lot of damage if you're not aware. Next up, we have Vampiric Slumber, and it's a bit of a yawn of a power if I'm honest. This one has 3 ranks, and each rank means your vampire will gain their vampiric energy faster while sleeping. It does conflict with the Fitful Sleep weakness, which in my mind is one of the best weaknesses to take, so I do not like this power that much. Alright, moving on from prime powers onto master powers with potentially my least favorite power there is. Don't we love starting off on a high? First up, we have Dampened Emotions. This power has 3 ranks, and it works by giving your vampire sim a permanent fine moodlet. Rank 1 is +3, rank 2 is +5, and rank 3 is +10. Basically dulling all other emotions because they'll be overridden by this permanent fine moodlet. In my opinion, it's a bit boring. Like, I kind of like it when my sims experience the emotions and get excited about things. It does also conflict with the Eternal Sadness weakness, which sees your vampire having random bouts of being extremely sad and crying and, running to their bed to sleep under the covers. So, all in all, not my favorite, but if you want the whole idea of a vampire who's really dead inside, this is the one for them. Next up is Supernatural Speed, and it's the second transportation theme power and my favorite. It makes Sim's normal running look like a snail's pace. Here your Sim will dash through everything and to everywhere in record time, and it can be permanently toggled on. Even though it's a bit slower over long distances than bat or mist travel, it is certainly my favorite. Now we're going to talk about depriving needs. Say goodbye to the healthy green needs bar. Not you, of course, we're talking about your victim. As you may have guessed, deprived needs let you target a sim and choose between hunger, energy, hygiene, and bladder, and it will deplete that needs bar almost fully. Great if you want to cause a little bit of drama. Next up, we have sun resistance, and this is one of the best strengths if you want your vampire sim to live a relatively normal life. There are 3 ranks, and each will make the sun's rays less harmful to your precious vampire. At the top rank, the sun won't affect you at all, meaning you can enjoy daytime activities like it's nobody's business. Note that it does conflict with the thinned skin weakness, which makes your vampire burn faster in daylight. And finally, for master skills, we have Odorless, a really simple one here that does exactly what it says. Your hygiene bar will be permanently full, so you can work up the filthiest sweat you want while still being extremely fresh. Finally, moving on to the Grandmaster powers. The first one is Influence Emotion, and this is a very strong power that has 3 ranks. It essentially lets your vampire give out a pulse, which will give everyone in their general area a mysterious moodlet that puts them in a certain mood. You can choose what this is, making everyone angry or flirty, bored, embarrassed, energized. If it's a mood, it's an option. The rank affects the strength of the moodlet. At rank 1, it's +2, at rank 2, it's a +3 moodlet, and for some illogical reason, this jumps up to a +8 at rank 3. Now, a warning for most, but also an idea for some. By giving people a really strong embarrassed, playful, or angered moodlet, you do risk making people mortified, hysteric, or enraged if that's strengthened much further. And this can lead to killing a sim, just so you know. Next up, we have Mist Form. This is the final transportation method. It's similar to traveling by bat, but the animation's a little bit faster. You'll turn to a puff of smoke and then reappear at the location you need to go to. Once again, it can be permanently toggled on. Next up is Beyond the Herd, another very easy to describe power. It simply keeps your social need maxed and stops it from ever decaying, so you never need to talk to another sim again. Tamed Thirst. Now, this nifty power is for the more refined of vampires, and it'll stop them from losing control when their thirst runs low and biting a random sim, because, nobody's got time for biting a random sim. This will conflict with Insatiable Thirst, which sees your vampire need to drink more often. And finally, the last power is Immortal Pleasures. We all love having a bit of fun, unless you've picked this power, in which case your fun need will be absolutely maxed and will never decay. Alas, that is all 25 vampiric powers. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed or found that helpful. If you did, please subscribe and leave a like. I would really appreciate that, and have an amazing day. See you later.